Hello everyone, Adrienne here. So today we are going to be doing another absinthe review. Now you're probably asking yourself, Adrienne, if you're doing an absinthe review, how come you're all decked out in red? The reason for that being is that the absinthe we are going to be reviewing today is a red absinthe. Yes. So I decided to fit that theme by wearing red today. And I changed the light in the back to a beautiful, brilliant shade of red just to do that. So it's going to be pretty great. Also, I want to make note, I know my fingers are totally wrecked right now. I had to give my fingers a little break from the gel nail polish I was wearing, so that's why my nails are naked. So like I said, the absinthe we are going to be reviewing today is going to be Serpis, and this is 65% alcohol. Once again, my friend Rory was kind enough to send this to me, so thank you again, Rory, for sending me these wonderful samples so that I can share them here on my channel. It's pretty awesome. So Serpis is from Spain. Now, from what I gather, as far as Spanish absinthes are concerned, they tend to be a bit more on the sweet side. And I did see some reviews on here saying that it had a bit of a medicinal flavor, so I'm not expecting too much out of this absinthe. But again, I could be setting myself up for, you know, a surprise in this video. You never know. So I do want to make note that yes, while red absinthes might be on the rise in the absinthe market, some of them may be artificially colored, some may not be. This one, unfortunately, is artificially colored from what I have read, so it will get some docking of points, most likely later on in this video. So let's go ahead and read a little bit about Serpis. The Absinthe Serpis Classic 65 is sweet and fruity, very charming. It is a very original absinthe. It has 10 degrees more than the 55% version. Its aromas are also much more varied. One thing is sure is that it is original, whether it is for aromas or for its color. That is probably why many amateurs appreciate it so much. Once mixed with water, its red color turns into a beautiful apricot color that goes perfectly well with its fruity aromas. An exotic absinthe that could surprise many of you. Okay, so they don't really mention very much about the flavor profile of this absinthe, unfortunately, which, you know, I like a little bit more information about that, but that's fine. So guys, let's go ahead and reposition the camera, and we are going to give this a gander, and we're going to give it a sniff and a taste. So we'll see how it goes. Alright guys, so this is the point in the video in which we rate the absinthe on its appearance and its louche. And then after that, we will be rating its aroma as well as its flavor and mouthfeel, and then give an overall rating. So I have seen a few reviews online that say that this is really sweet. So for that reason, once again, I am going to be drinking this without sugar. As per my usual videos, I explain that the reason why I have absinthe without sugar is to determine the quality of the absinthe. So if absinthe is made properly and the wormwood is properly extracted from, it will have a natural sweetness that will not need sugar in order to make it apparent. However, if you are drinking an absinthe that absolutely needs sugar for you to drink it, it most likely means that it is not high quality and was not properly extracted. So that's why I drink absinthe without sugar in my reviews for the initial tasting. So guys, let's go ahead and take a look at Serpis. And I will be posting a corresponding TikTok of this absinthe a little later today. Okay, that's a little more orange than what I was expecting. Whew, I can already smell it. So as you can see, that is a pretty nice kind of orangey red. However, this is not by any means a traditionally colored absinthe, and since the coloring is not natural and there are certain red absinthes out there that are naturally colored, I will have to dock this one points for color and appearance. So in that case, I will give this 3 stars on appearance. And already I can smell it. It smells very, very sweet, even without the water hitting it here. All right, so let's go ahead and observe the process of the louche and see what we've got. Again, if it clouds up very nice and thick, then it is a good high quality absinthe. Okay, I'm slightly worried. Okay, never mind, it's clouding up. Different colored absinthe, of course. So I will say the louche is nice and thick. That is a very good sign. And it's not so much a pink. I was kind of worried it would turn pink upon adding water to it and observing the louche. But it is a nice kind of like apricot kind of peach color. So that's interesting. But the louche is nice and thick. It's very opaque, as you can see. You cannot see through this louche, which is very, very good. So louche, I will give it 3.5 to 4 stars. I'll just go ahead and give it 4 stars because it is a proper louche. It clouded up almost immediately, which is a really good sign. And the smell is definitely, like, the aroma that I'm getting here is definitely sweet. And I don't know how to say this, but slightly cough medicine-y, but I will talk more on that when we get to the part of the video where I rate it on its aroma as well as its flavor and mouthfeel. So let me reposition the camera and we will do that. Alright guys, so now we are going to rate the aroma as well as the taste and the mouthfeel for this absinthe. And for the appearance I rated it 3 stars because it was artificially colored, and then for the louche I rated it 4 stars because it clouded up instantly right away, which is a really good indication of a high quality absinthe. So once again I did see some reviews saying that this was super sweet online, so because of that, again, for my first taste of absinthe, as with all of my videos, I like having it without sugar so I can ascertain quality. Because a good quality absinthe will have a natural sweetness without the assistance of sugar. That's why. Anyway, so let's take a look at the aroma. This definitely smells a lot sweeter than a lot of the absinthes that I've had, and that's even compared to absinthes such as La Clandestine, or as I most recently had, La Capricieuse. So it has a fruitier quality, so that's definitely interesting. This isn't the only absinthe I've had that had a necessarily like a fruity quality, so this wouldn't be a first for me, but it has a strange kind of like medicinal, kind of like cough medicine sort of quality. Does that make sense? I'm really, really hoping that this is not going to be nearly as sweet as I think it's going to be, but we'll see. So aroma, I'm gonna give it 3 stars because it really doesn't smell all that complex. It has a very strange kind of medicinal sort of scent profile happening here. So I'm really hoping it's not going to be that sweet. I do smell the anise very prominently, so that's a good sign, but I'm getting very little of the fennel and wormwood. So aroma, 3 stars, definitely. All right, guys, let's go ahead and give this a taste. And as always, solta, and please drink responsibly. Definitely has a good bite of wormwood. The anise is very prominent. It does indeed have like a fruity sort of note that's happening in there. But as predicted, this does have a kind of medicinal quality. Like I was hoping that wouldn't be so prominent once I actually took a taste of it, but there's not really much complexity. There really isn't. I'm sorry. I'm trying to pinpoint the fruit. Like, I'm trying to pinpoint what exactly it is in there that is making that fruity flavor. It's a little reminiscent of like a peach or maybe some kind of like strawberry. A little bit of strawberry maybe. And I will say that the presence of the wormwood in here is giving me kind of a tongue, like an overwhelming tingling of the tongue and of my palate just in general. So it should not be like a numbing feeling. So that already kind of concerns me. I have no clue what that fruity part of the profile is, but it's definitely stinging. Like, not so much stinging, but more like a numbing kind of tingling on the tongue. Personally, I would have this without sugar, but it's awfully sweet. Hey, honey? Can I get your opinion on this absinthe over here?
I had to move Precious for this.
Alright, tell me what you think of this one. This is the red one.
Okay. I actually like that a lot.
It tastes really medicinal to me, so I'm not a big fan of it.
Yeah, but you know me. I love that cherry cough syrup.
Is that what that reminds you of?
Not quite.
Because there's a fruitiness. You're tasting a kind of fruitiness in there, aren't you?
A little bit, yeah. No, I really like that.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, it did say that this would be a favorite among amateurs, so...
Yeah, well, as an amateur, yeah. No, I like that. That's actually really nice. I would drink a glass of that.
You would?
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to be making another glass of this with sugar for a TikTok video, so if you want to take another taste at that point...
I will.
You can.
I will. And you know, I'll take another sip right now.
Shit, he's going in for seconds? Oh my god!
Yeah, no, that's good. I like that.
Is it too tingly? Like, I'm getting a little bit overwhelmed from the kind of tingling feeling to the point where it's a little numbing. A little bit?
I wouldn't... personally, it doesn't seem any more tingly to me than anything else I've ever had.
Okay.
You know, it's, because it's not as bitter to me.
Yeah, for me, it's a little overly sweet.
Yeah, since it's not so bitter to me, I don't get nearly as much of a, kind of like a aftertaste. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's still there, but it's not as powerful as some of the other stuff you've given me.
Would you say that it's smooth?
Yeah, it goes down a lot smoother.
Okay.
That's definitely true. Like, I like that.
Okay, you heard it from an amateur, ladies and gentlemen. It is sweet enough for him to have without sugar. And again, that is another reason why I have my first taste without sugar. So, I'm not a fan of this. But I can definitely see from what we discussed with Kenny just now that an amateur or a beginner would really like this. Yeah, that fruitiness is really kind of throwing me off. I'm wondering what it is. Yeah. But, again, I can see a beginner liking this. Me, not so much. But that's just me. So, for flavor, I'll give it 3.5 stars, especially considering that an amateur like Kenny likes it. It's definitely not the best that I've ever had, but it's also not the worst. I certainly have had worse than this. It seems like a tiny bit of a gimmicky absinthe, just a little bit of a gimmicky absinthe. And again, it is artificially colored. So if there are absinthes out there that are naturally colored, that have like, you know, maybe they're barrel aged in a wine barrel or something, or they have some other kind of like fruit to their flavor profile, I would definitely be open to trying one or two of those, absolutely. This one is a little bit too medicinal for me and a little bit too sweet. Kenny likes cough medicine, and Kenny has a huge sweet tooth, and the fact that he likes this without sugar really tells me a lot, and it really speaks to how sweet it is. I will say though, like as far as the, yes?
Specifically cherry cough medicine, I hate the licorice flavored cough medicine.
Okay, Kenny doesn't like the licorice flavored cough medicine,
but
he likes the...
Which is what absinthe typically reminds me of.
Does it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, hilariously enough, this absinthe is closer to the cherry one and I like the cherry stuff, so.
Weirdo. So, it has a bit of like a cherry cough medicine sort of quality to it, but that may not be off-putting to everyone who tries it. Personally, I find it a little bit off-putting. However, before Kenny interrupted me, I will say that as far as mouthfeel and consistency is concerned, it is smooth. It is very well balanced on the mouthfeel, other than the kind of numbing feeling that I get from the wormwood. So, a little bit too tingling on the tongue, but otherwise it went down very, very smoothly. And it had a nice kind of coating on the inside of the mouth. So guys, as for my final thoughts on Serpis, I will say that for appearance, I'm going to give it 3 stars. For louche, I will give it 4 stars. For flavor, I'll give it 3.5 stars. And for aroma, I'll give it 3 stars as well. As for mouthfeel, I will give that 4 stars because it did go down very, very smoothly. Now, yes, I was not as big of a fan of this absinthe as I am of other brands, for instance. However, that doesn't mean that I didn't hate it entirely. That doesn't mean that this is the worst absinthe I ever had. But it's a good one, and I can definitely see this being a favorite with amateurs and beginners of absinthe. Kind of a stepping stone that will get them to, let's say, something that is more traditionally produced. Does that make sense? I hope so. So on that note, I'm going to end this video. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and make sure you hit that bell for notifications so that you can see videos on absinthe, as well as goth music, gothic literature, and some other wonderful things. Thank you so much to my patrons for supporting me. I really, really appreciate it. You guys are fantastic and generous. Just thank you so much. And for everyone, you're amazing. I love you, and I will see you guys later. Bye!